Actually, I wanted an Ajabota girl, But when I saw, then I began to tell you how I was raised in Banana Island.
Which Banana Island?
Before the banana plantation.
Both of us were born in Ebute Metta.
In one Paco house like this. One of my friends told me, he said, "Whoa, but boy, you can't eat me." Once I land a canteen, if they give me fufu, I'll just say extra.
Extra.
So the guy began to copy me. Extra, why? I had so much gotten used to lack that I felt that could you me. A broken courtship is better than a broken marriage. It will be best if you discussed many things before you get married, which may help you learn more about your partner before the big day. Talk about the big day, which is the wedding. It's only a one-day affair, but marriage is a long-time affair. With that quote, I welcome you all to Me and My Waka Partner podcast, a podcast designed to help you enjoy and not endure your marriage. On this episode, we will be speaking about uncomfortable questions to ask before you say, I do. And as usual, I have my wonderful and official Waka partner with me on this podcast again. You're welcome today, Margaret Olabisi Okoro.
Thank you very much.
I remember the day you took me to go and see your mom. I was meeting my future mother-in-law for the very first time. Yes. So we got there and they prepared food for us. And I remember that day that we rescheduled that meeting a couple of times.
Yes.
Because of transportation.
Yes.
I couldn't afford the money.
Yes.
To transport
to go
both
and see
of
your
us.
Mother-in-law
my future
to be.
mother-in-law to be. Or my mother-in-law to be. But you now came up with the suggestion that you had some money that we should
use
so
it.
You can imagine how uncomfortable I was when we were even going. But when we got there, my late mother-in-law, as she's late now, made me so comfortable. I didn't know what was coming until I met your elder sister. She ruffled my feathers. Uncomfortable questions.
Oh my God.
These things are real. You didn't ask me those questions. You were asking.
I was
mildly,
asking. Yes.
But she asked harshly. And then she said, Boda,
she was just trying to defend her sister.
Ejo, Shokoto Melo.
Even me, I was shocked because I was like, what does that got to do with? Oh, so Tobani Shokoto 100. Oh, eligible at Femi.
If I had plenty Shokoto, it would be nice. But the fact that I didn't have, I can't really remember.
Maybe one or two.
Then. So it was like punching me below the belt. And I reacted instantly. I would never forget the answer I gave to that question. I didn't know that we were coming for asset declaration.
I would have counted
how many Shokotos. But she said we were coming to ask for consent, not asset declaration. I thought she was going to stop. And she went ahead and asked another one again. She said, hey, Joe, Boda, wedding. I was like, where did this lady bring me? I thought you said we were coming to see your mom. So at that point I braced up because I knew that to survive it won't stop. I had to, so I said, Bogbo Eloti ready. Everything that we need for the wedding was ready. And she looked at you and said, BC Mbo. And you now said everything was ready. Uncomfortable questions. You can imagine how uncomfortable
you were
with those questions. I can't forget them till I die. But I realized that in life, I'm talking generally now, progress is made when we begin to ask ourselves frank questions. In my position today, when I talk to, people who are going through challenges in their marriage, sometimes I realize that it was because they overlooked these things. And the first one I want us to bring up today in this episode is, how was your upbringing like? Because a lot of the times you get into a relationship and end up getting married to somebody you don't even know how they grew up, where they grew up, with whom they grew up. then in the future, they start springing surprises.
I remember I told you that my mom that was married to a man before.
Now your mom had how many husbands?
2 before my father.
That day, Erubamio.
Because I had to let you know. So that when you see my auntie Ijebu and my auntie Awusa, you'll be like, well, your daddy is Edo. Why
did you have Awusa
and Ijebu
in your family?
So I made you to understand that before my mom met my father, she met this man that she had her elder sister who she's late now for. And it didn't work as a young girl. She met another Hausa man. It didn't work before she now met my father.
The day let me tell you one thing. The day you told me that thing.
And that's why he's uncomfortable
question with uncomfortable
answers. So it's not just the question that is uncomfortable, even the answers.
And you know the thing about it. I couldn't go home to tell my people about that.
You can't.
Because wisdom is profitable to direct. Imagine if I went home and said, hello everybody, that lady I'm planning to get married to, the mom had 3 husbands. They say, hey, hold it there. I will now be trying to explain. You will explain tire. They will just tell you, whoa, don't go there. As far as we are concerned. Is promiscuous person.
And that's why, we said in one episode that there are some things that you just have to live with.
Feel bear.
Go bear.
T-bear. Malosi bear. So then I began to look at you and say, and then when I see my mother-in-law, then I'll be like, what is it for commenter? And you also told me about your upbringing, that you grew up in Okobriki, Abi?
I was born in Okobriki.
Man, when you told
That's
me
where the estate is now.
I said Okobriki.
That was where I was
born. And
from there, we now moved to Orile.
Apapa Road. You moved to Orile. When you were telling me all the people, it was a baby to Danny.
And you see, that's sincere, so that you will know. Is it that you want to stay or you want to go?
But this is me.
Yes.
So it's important that you let each other know about your... Then I began to tell you how I was raised in Banana Island.
Which Banana Island?
I was raised in Banana Island. Before the banana plantation.
Both of us were born in Ebute Metta. Where were you born?
I was born in... Was it Griffith or Jebab? Glover or something?
Ebute
in
Metta.
one Paco house like this.
I was born down Glover and we ended up in Glover. That was where we married.
That is where we married, But, actually I wanted an Ajabota girl, But when I saw...
what it will cost you. By that they come into your house and say that, what's the meaning of this?
But these are uncomfortable but very important questions. But honestly, it was good. It was good. Knowing where we are coming from made us just know as, okay, fine. We started here, but we're not going to end up there.
Of course.
And to the glory of God today, people cannot look at us and tell where we are coming from.
Except...
So you need to talk about your upbringing.
It is
very important. Tell you, where did you grow up?
Well, it's very important.
Where did you grow up? Ibolotiwa, Ibolotijawa, Langbasa never existed, but don't be. I used to tell people that my father, then we're learning to lie that my father had a house in Lekki.
You can imagine.
He did Roko Nili and Margaret before they demolished it. As kids, you are like, I remember then when my dad had a bakery and they would ask me to go and bring bread and carry it on my head. I was like, kilo share leg on.
Oh, your head.
But I didn't kill you. You kill it, Abi?
Yes.
You told me how you and your mom
onions. That one. Because I love cooking. I went to catering school, but I don't like cooking for, commercial. So my mom insisted. I was the one that made the stew, the rice, went to stadium. I was mad.
Crusade.
I said, can we came here
for crusade.
Why are we selling? When we didn't sell well, maybe it was because of the spirit that I went with. You can imagine crusade, but I didn't sell. I had to bring the food the next day to my friend's house to come and I gave them more. I didn't sell anything.
One of the things I also... When I came to your house then, I remember there was a day, normally I would come to your place, And that day I said I wanted to use the loo.
Oh.
And you nearly sent me to the grave. When I saw your loo.
Is it tenement?
Your loo was not loo.
It wasn't loo. I told you how even that our own loo was the best as at that time. Because our neighbor from up, you can imagine how the up will be, was coming down to even use that loo. My mother was the one that changed that loo.
When I got there, I was like,
Can imagine. And I couldn't move out.
When I came back, I was like, go lay away. You know, houses
even
where,
your own house in what's it called?
Our own
Bonu way.
Our
If
own
that one is even worse.
That one of my uncles came. The door broke and the whole tenants couldn't fix it. So you have to brace it when you are looing. So one of my uncles came to visit us and he was doing his thing, squatting. And then the door fell off.
Oh my God.
He said one of our neighbors just passed and they were both looking at each other like this. When he came back, he was telling us that, this is your toilet. We said, you never see anything. Talk about your parents. Tell your partner, like what you just said.
Yes.
You had to open up. And when I told you about my own family, your own mom had 3 husbands. My own mom had just one husband. I could have said, Ali Joshi.
Now go and look for a girl.
So that will not be the criteria. Or come in years.
And then he will now show you Pepe.
He might not show me Pepe.
But you
I might be the one that will show her Pepe. Because I don't like her. So but the truth about it is that,
talk about it.
Talk about it.
It is very important.
Talk about your parents. Talk about I remember a boy that we were in school together then. They were going somewhere in St. Timber's College. And he was going somewhere with some of his friends. And they saw his mom. This boy told his friends that the mom is their house help.
Jesus.
I'm telling you. True life story. And that boy didn't do well for a long time. I think maybe he repented. The guy was ashamed of his parents.
Jesus Christ.
So don't be ashamed of your parents.
They are your parents.
They are your parents. You don't have to go in the direction that they went.
Yes.
But talk about your parents.
Yes. I know of a wedding. A guy that married he's not very rich. The family is not very rich.
The family is not rich.
He's not rich.
Not very. He's not rich.
He's not rich. So, but he's going to marry a family that they are very rich, from a girl that they are very rich. So on the wedding day, they locked his own parents outside.
Even though the word the Ashwebi,
Ashwebi is not showing on the skin.
Oh my God.
How can this be?
Kosho. They said stay out there.
Kosho. He had to come and bring them in.
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my God. And you know, there was a particular lady I was dating then. She would never take me to their house. Our base then was always eateries. Eateries. It was from one eatery. I would say, where is your house? She would say, you know what? My parents are this, this and that.
Because she is speaking Fune, but when you get home.
Ole Ripo. She knows why she doesn't want to take you home. Ole Ripo. Toma Gbesita. So she never took me home. She would take me close to the household, then she would take me to the eatery close to the house. She would say, we live in this vicinity. I said, is it Google Map?
God. People can do things.
I also know of a man, of a brother who is very close to us. That the family didn't grow up well. The family wasn't okay. And they are one of our best friends today. When he was about to marry this lady, the lady took him home, to see the family. He called me after the meeting that day and said, can I tell you how I feel? I said, how? He said, when they take a chicken alive and they remove all the feathers. He said, these guys defeathered me alive. He said, I felt naked.
That's
after
the parents of
the parents of the girl
that he wanted to marry.
That he wanted to marry. Because the guy came from a humble background and he was working in the bank then, but he said, no. No. But guess what? The lady stood for the guy and said, is this guy or nobody? Today, they live in Canada. The family lives in Canada.
Yes.
The guy lives in Nigeria and goes to Canada to visit them often, frequently. And recently the guy, the guy became so rich In fact, the guy bought a house in Adeni Jones recently, very good friend of hers. So, but the guy didn't want to lie. So, and another thing that we have to talk about again, when you are about to get married, talk about your likes
And dislike.
and your dislikes. Talk about your likes and your dislikes. Your favorite color, your favorite food, what kind of movies. It was when we were talking about movies
Yes.
that you made me to know where Jagumolu and Onumoru and Co. I said, this man.
My favorite.
In fact, you pack them like this. Fokumoyo. I was like, hey, what kind of, you don't watch Benjamin Button? You don't watch series?
Who is Benjamin Button?
Oh, Bebenlo. I said, about me. And then I remember you go like this.
I'll take like 10.
Say you remove you alone. And I began to imagine my son watching Gudu Gudu Loma Jazz. I said, I don't like this.
But now I don't watch those movies anymore.
Because in marriage, the reason why you have to talk about likes and dislikes.
Yes.
You have to look at the hardware and the software. I knew that you watching movies where the software. We can reprogram you.
Yes.
So I remember that me and Pastor Tay will come to your house.
Yeah.
I will go to Yaba, buy those movies that I want us to watch. I love to watch a lot of biopics, so I'll bring those things.
Now love it. And that thing actually happened with the kind of friends that I move with.
Now you are high class. When people see you on MyWakaPodcast podcast with your local, they will say, they don't know that Jagumolu mamani baba ti jade ya Jagumolu jagun lombo. And that's why you used to do jagun things.
Omo mi ni ma mu toro kete ni mi.
Talk about your likes, talk about your dislikes.
Then and one thing I realize about likes and dislikes is that you don't just meet someone and start talking about your likes and dislikes.
No, we are saying before I do.
Yes, no, yeah. I'm even saying that at times somebody will do something that you don't like. Then you let them know that I don't like this. Because you might not just say, you didn't just say, I don't like you watching, because you didn't know.
Yes.
Until you saw me watching them.
I saw you watching them.
And you didn't say, I don't like that. But you
I began to introduce you to
me to something that you love. And you know that
I know it was going to help you.
Yes.
Yes, because when you watch those kind of movies, you see, because if you watch those kind of movies, no disrespect to the producers of such movies, but I just know that movies have a way of programming your mind.
Of course.
And I know we're about to get married. I know that wo ma fẹsẹ̀ lé tọ́ ni o, ẹsẹ̀ lé kò fi tọ́ lọ.
Is it only
alátiṣe ló mà ti ṣe ààrẹ?
Is it only that one? The way I address my friends when we see each other. Yeah, bye-bye.
It was from those movies.
Of course now. It was from those movies.
But when we started looking at those things, the kind of food, that was why I realized that you like bread and a wagon. Then I started doing Chinese with you.
That's what you love. It is me that love Chinese. I can't imagine someone eating bread and a wagon. Morning, afternoon, and night. Then one
of my friends told me, he said, "Whoa, but boy, you can't eat me." Once I land a canteen, if they give me fufu, I'll just say extra. So the guy began to copy me. In Kaoyedele. One day he said, "But boy, you should me." Keep the extra to my wife. I had so much gotten used to lack that I felt that kò lè yó mi.
Kò tó jẹ tán gan, ẹjọ́ ẹ bá mi fi.
Tí máa jẹun tán ní canteen yẹn gbà mí, máa jókòó báyìí.
Máa wò. Mo ti yó. O ti yó kẹ́rì.
Because when we were growing up, ṣó ti yó. As far as we were concerned, food was ṣó ti yó. Then we had this.
Satisfy.
Of course, we had this canteen then. Yakoyo.
Yasibe
koyo. Ko jẹun yo. So it's important you talk about your likes and your dislikes. Don't look away from those things. Because, any relationship that is not intentional will not thrive. And it doesn't mean, like you said, that, you just quickly bump out of, no, I don't like going to these kind of places. I don't like visiting these kind of things. I don't like watching football, but for you, I watch it. You have to also talk about, dating. Talk about dating. Talk about past relationships. Talk about past relationships. Don't wait for your partner to find out.
That's
Talk about your future spouse should also be aware of your past relationships. You understand? Did you have an ex-fiance or fiance or someone you thought was the one and it didn't happen to be the one? Because if you don't have this discussion, you may be caught unaware.
Yes.
When your ex start messaging you. For me now, there are some people that you are even the one that will help me get rid of them.
Yes.
Because I told you that this was my relationship with this person. Talk about your past relationships. Talk about it. I think we said it on one of the episodes that the day there were some we talked about.
Yes.
There were some before we met. You told me then I dated this person, I had relationship with this person, I had this with this person. I said, okay, fine. Okay, me too. I had this with that person. This person, this was how it was. We laughed about it. And we knew that it was coming to an end.
Yes.
It had come to an end. I'm with this person now.
Yes.
So it's not you call somebody your ex.
And then?
And then I'm still seeing you all over. That means TX.
TX.
So what's going on? You're like, no,
we're friends.
Money. Kò lè lóhùn money mọ́. Ojú wo ló fẹ́ money?
Tó máa tún money mọ́.
Kí ló mọ̀? So all those kind of things, ìmọ̀kú money. So you are not with this person because we are in for something serious. So it's important that we talk about our past relationships. Another uncomfortable question is your expectations. It will be best if you also understood what will be expected of you out of the relationship from your partner. What are you expecting from me?
From me.
Why do you want to marry me? And I also have expectations about you. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's just so important. And these things are, as someone say, are you saying I'm not going to make it? No, I'm not saying you are not going to make it. You want me to marry you. You are selling me a vision.
Yes.
What are your expectations?
Because if you know someone's expectation, one, you'll be able to help the person. Two, even if that thing is not coming in 1, 2, 3 years, you know the goal, you know the expectation, you know that this is what this person is expecting. For example, I knew from the onset that you are a ministry person.
Okay.
I knew.
Not that I told you. From what I told you.
Yes, from what you told me. You told me your vision. You told me your plan. You made me you understand. So, and I look into that, your plan and vision. And I look at myself. Do I fit
into the vision of this person
or not? Because I'm going to marry this person. He's going to be my head. Do I fit in or not? Because I've met people. Even, yes, I study catering and hotel management. I met someone that has
a
hotel. Very wealthy. But I realized I didn't fit in. Even though that was what I studied. There were things that I saw that I said, no, I can't fit into this with this person. But with you, I knew this is what you want to do because of what you have told me. And I can see myself in that vision.
I think we've also met people that because of this unshared expectations, the lady didn't know.
Yes.
Didn't know that the man was going in this direction. Then eventually they got married. The man said he was going into ministry, and the lady said, I didn't marry a pastor.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I don't have plans to marry. I didn't have plans to marry.
Because the man didn't share.
The man never shared. The man knew but never shared. And the man didn't.
Just where anyone I marry will go with me. No.
And some people, you also wanted somebody that could do some certain things.
Yes.
You wanted someone that could do some certain things, but
yes.
you didn't share those expectations.
Yes.
And then when you get married, you realize that your partner is not living up to your imaginary expectations. And then you share it with them and say, but I'm sorry. It's not that I can't do it. I will never do it. Say, let me make it clear to you. I will never do that thing that you are saying.
Never.
You say, why? I'm not that kind of a person in my life. And I will never be that kind of a person. Because you never shared your expectations.
Yes.
At that point, the whole relationship could have ended.
Yes.
You could have called it quits. Because you can't marry someone that will not meet your expectation. We might pretend about it. For me, before I got married, I knew I love women that are stylish. I love my wife to be stylish, to be a power dresser, to dress well. I don't like it when a woman doesn't know how to combine colors. You understand? It was an expectation. And when I saw you, before I even came close. So what I'm saying is that they are uncomfortable. Say, why do you dress like this? You two said it, that you like guys that dress well.
Yes.
And you used to gunning me from afar.
Of course.
That my trouser, what do you call that trouser? Boot cut.
Boot cuts.
You will be admiring
you stop wearing it too. Is this something that you now wear?
It change now.
Which guy will change?
Boot cut will work. Level don't change now. So unshared expectations. Then they will begin to manifest and you were wondering, what happened?
What happened?
He said, but this is mean. I said, no, this is not what I want. What do you want? So I want someone that can dress me. Some men don't like women that make up.
Yes.
Me, I love it. But I don't want excess. I don't want, somebody said, you see that woman who said when makeup was eye pencil and this thing. He said, now it's cement. And POP plaster.